Hello and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I'm your host and commissioner, Sierra Cato, here with my co-host, Mike Cabalon.
Well, you said here with, and
Hello.
that's not necessarily
Oh, yeah,
true.
damn it.
I don't know if you can
I've been
hear this
called
at
out
home.
immediately.
Yeah, no. We're recording this in the dead of night. Sierra is on the East Coast. Iffy had a shoot go late and he is still on set, and I have COVID. So everyone's doing great over here at TV Chef Fantasy League.
Oh, definitely. All synced up doing our various shenanigans. But we did
Yeah.
point out you got COVID. It does seem to be going around. Everybody watch out, or take
Mhm.
care of yourselves. But at least you got it after your wedding. We do
That's
appreciate
true.
that.
I do think I got it as a result of another wedding. I have four
Sure.
other weddings to attend this year, and I think one of the weddings gave me COVID, but it was not my own. So, we're doing okay, all things considered.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, weddings are a merry place to catch a little bit of a COVID.
What
But
better way to celebrate the end of your non-COVID life than with a huge wedding celebration? You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. But I hope you're feeling okay. I know it's early, so
It'll get
everybody
worse. That's why I'm like,
yeah.
let's record the podcast now
Now
because tomorrow
before
I'll be no good.
oh boy, yes. So,
Yeah,
pots and pans, send your healing thoughts.
please.
Um I did want to say, okay, well, we can get into some write-ins that I thought were
Sure.
we had a couple lovely ones. One was from Potterpan Beth, who wrote
Okay.
in with a bunch of Minneapolis recommendations when we were talking about
Oh,
the Minneapolis Italian and how Joe was like, this could be on any menu in Italy,
the
Minneapolis,
best.
or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
whatever he exactly said. Anyway, so Beth wrote in, suggested quite a few. I'll just rattle them off right here, but everybody, do your own research. Owamni,
hmm
Vinay, Oro, Hi
hmm
Hi, and Olarepa, Diane's Place, Muriel, Boucheron. And Beth kind of shouted out that, like, Minneapolis as like the Midwest, definitely white, but has a really large Hmong and Somali diaspora that people might not know
Oh,
about. So a couple of these restaurants are Hmong. Um,
Owamni, I know off the top of my head, is a native restaurant. It's one of the most notable native
yes, yeah,
restaurants in America.
Indigenous cuisine, James Beard New
Yes.
Restaurant Award winner. Yeah, yeah. So quite a few great recommendations. Thanks, Beth. Makes me really want to go back to Minneapolis as soon as possible before
Let's
it
go. Let's
gets
do a little
too
podcast field trip.
cold.
I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really fun. I think, I'm not into the -50 wind chill I hear can hit some of
Sure.
those
Yeah,
areas,
yeah.
but if we can do it before, I'd
Do
love
it in the
it.
summertime. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Potterpan Beckett wrote in about the macaroon situation.
Okay. Hit me,
Apparently, we got
Beckett.
Beckett got some real history here. Macaroon is a 16th century anglicization of macaron. A bunch of French words ending in on entered English in the same time frame with sorry, I was going to un. I mean un
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
instead, like balloon and platoon. Very cool.
Oh,
And so the original cookie was more of a freeform almond flour cookie. A coconut macaroon is that concept, but with coconut rather than almond. And the perfectly even sandwich cookie is a Parisian iteration first created in the 1930s. Wow,
wow. Oh,
love that. We got
I love
history.
a
We
history
got
lesson.
we got delistery. That sounds gross, actually. I was trying to merge delicious and history,
No,
but then
you can't
something
do it.
about list. It like
Yeah,
that's
yeah. It
not
feels like
okay.
listeria. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
That's not
Well,
what we want.
sorry, Becky. Sorry, Potter Pan Beckett. I let you down, but thank you. As always, we love to hear from our pots and pans. Um, Before we get into this episode, I did want to say, I got a little Pepsi commercial before the MasterChef episode playing in Hulu
Oh,
with Tiffany
yes.
Gary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, giving her
Thought that
barbecue
was fun.
tips.
Yeah, yeah. As a precursor, it was a very, specialized, personalized to this episode. Thought that was cool. And
She gives a line in it that's like, grilling deserves Pepsi. And I was like, no, it doesn't.
yeah, I was like, oh, is that what they're going for? I mean, sure. Look, it's in our brains now. That's how
And
advertisements
advertising
work.
works. Yeah.
My question though, they flashed a QR code about as fast as you could flash a QR code. Who's scanning those QR codes on ads, you
It's
know?
got to be someone, right? I mean, they wouldn't do it if it weren't working, if they weren't getting some sort of hits.
Right, right. Because I'd imagine a lot of the people watching commercials on linear TV, though. I mean, in that case, it's like embed a link into if you're watching on a Hulu in a
Right.
browser,
Right.
But at home, or sorry, like on your television, maybe it's more of the older population who's
That's a good point.
watching linear TV. Maybe they're getting out their phones and doing that, but it's already, I find that hard. You got to
The
find
Venn
your camera.
diagram of people who are watching commercials on their TV and who know how to use a QR code is like two circles.
Sure, sure. It's a challenging skill to be able to quickly whip out your camera, triangulate that QR code, and go to that link. So, write in about that, I guess. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
we did
that's all I
have
had.
one other write-in
Oh, good.
from Potterpan Chris, who didn't give any commentary, but just forwarded us the promos for this year's Great British Baking Show, the Great British Bake Off,
Oh,
which
right.
is
It happened. It's
airing.
out.
It's airing in the UK September 2nd, so I would assume that we'll get it the week or the day after. I don't remember how last year worked, but
Oh, yeah,
September,
yeah.
it's coming, and we're going to be able to sail straight from MasterChef right into Great British Bake
Wow.
Off.
The dream, the dream. Well, get excited, everybody who's a big Bake Off fan, because your time is nigh. Get excited. All right. Well, back to our current feature of
Yeah.
MasterChef.
Let's take it
Let's,
easy, you know.
yeah,
We're both kind of low key right now. We
we
we don't
are.
we don't have to hype this up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
everybody.
guys,
It's
all
late
right.
over here.
Cut us
I
some
don't
slack.
I need to go to bed. No.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm awake for you all. Okay. It's the Barbie episode. I
It's the
said
Barbie
the
episode.
Barbie episode because, the Bobby.
Oh,
And
I
that's
see
my
what you did there.
Australian
That's pretty
barbecue.
bad. I didn't realize
Bobby.
you're veering into Boston.
Sure, sure. You're right. All roads lead to Boston, as we know on this podcast,
That's true.
especially in Melbourne. They
Good pronunciation of Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not supposed to say born. That's all I
Right.
know.
Right.
We've gone over this. But yeah, so they're outside today for a perfect day for a barbecue. It's apparently 90 degrees, hot as balls out there because they're down under, but they don't talk about it again.
I will say, I think
Mhm.
okay. I think with with the train challenge, they were like Australian central casting, get us people who can do an American accent, and they kind of failed. And I think on this one, they somehow managed to find some American expats,
Yeah,
like a woman that's
yeah.
like, I'm from the South or whatever, and it's like, great,
Amazing.
cool. And then some people who are just unapologetically Australian, they're like, you two just have to sit next to each other, and that's just what we're
Right.
going with.
Right. I mean, odds are some expats might have expated for love, So
Sure.
it might be their spouse, their partner there who is super Australian and they're the ones who are representing the US. And, that's what love will do. It'll bring you across the world. I don't
I
know.
was just sort of like surprised at how I feel like with the last challenge where we had people from out in the world, the accents were sort of all over the place. And this one, it was like, no, we got some Americans, some
Yeah.
people. We're just going to let them be Australian.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Maybe leaning into it a little bit more. The roost is up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say before we meet all those people, the about 40 of the biggest barbecue aficionados, as they were deemed, um, we get all the contestants walking out. They're like a little too excited about the garden. Is that something that you clocked? It was
I did
really like, I
not, but that
mean,
is funny.
it was a nice garden, but it was almost like, wow, have they not let these people outside into like fresh foliage and like
Right.
I don't know, a week?
That's a good point. I did think it was fun. I didn't realize they would be able to use the garden until they did those close-up shots of like, pick whatever berries or
Yeah,
whatever you want. And I was like, oh, that is kind of cool. So I
sure,
guess maybe
sure.
that's part of the excitement too, just being like, you have access to produce that's not coming from a pantry.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, farm to table, farm to Bobby.
Garden to TV.
So yes, it was a very nice garden. So this is actually the last team challenge of the season. And if they win, they're guaranteed into the top 5. Very exciting. The loser, however, of course, all those guys go to the pressure test. We've seen this before. We know
Mhm.
a team challenge by now. And they're going to cook barbecue for about 40 of the biggest barbecue aficionados they could find, in parentheses, in Australia. um, and can't wait to meet them. So, as you know, your Southern brothers, Adam and Joel,
Yeah.
they were able to pick the teams because they won last week.
And everyone was expecting them to be large
So,
and in charge.
yeah, yeah, they were really like, I mean, I wasn't too surprised with their picks. They went for Julio and Rachel and Zach and
Hmm.
Michelle.
Hmm.
I think they could have gone for Jesse and Jessica because they're also pretty strong. Tina and
I
Iman as
agree.
well.
I
But
agree.
but I think, as far as I feel like Zach and Michelle like are clearly very kind of go with the flow people. So
Right.
maybe they were like, as
Who
far
can
as
we
butting
boss
heads.
around? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which did happen. Um, and so they were the red team. Blue team was Tina and Yvonne, Javier and Azu, and Jesse and Jessica. And immediately we get the captains. So that's going to be some points. We got Joel and Adam, of course, they're elected captain,
Hmm.
even though that wasn't a given. And
My
Tina and
boys,
Yvonne kind of
my
step up,
girls.
which was
That's
nice.
right.
Yeah.
This
So
is all me.
both of your teams, you get points for that, at one
Here
point
we
each.
go. Yeah.
So pretty exciting. It's a good episode for you. But yeah, so the one thing I did kind of, I don't know if you saw this one, Tina was like, I would like to be captain. Jesse was like, you think you can speak up? I
Okay, I
love
want to
that.
hear you speak on this because I have a lot of opinions here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. It's like obviously, and then I think they tried to cover it because in the confessional, Jessica was like, Tina is loud, but maybe not direct. And it's like, I don't know if
Uh-huh.
that's really like a thing that she's shown, or like, I don't know. Would you know that if you haven't worked with her yet? But then I don't know, maybe there's stuff we haven't seen. But I mean, generally, what like just to spell it out for people, it's just the like Asian women, are you too quiet to be in
Hmm.
charge? Are you too
Hmm.
quiet to like know what's what, or kind of to know what you want too? I think
Yes.
that's like a big part of it. So I was a little like, ooh, I prickled at that. I think ultimately we found out Tina is obviously very loud and can speak up. But yeah, I don't know. So that was definitely,
I
I think they try to walk it back a little bit, but
I feel like this is like the bulk of what I want to talk about today because this really jumped out at me. And like, I will grant that, look, as an Asian person, I am more sensitive to this stuff, but I did immediately clock it. And it's like, this episode is such a good textbook demonstration of what like little racism looks like. Do you know what I mean? I think there's still
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people out there. Look, we've had people write in and from all over the political spectrum, and sometimes we don't read all those emails on air.
sure, sure,
But I feel like there are people out there who think that racism only ever looks like burning crosses, like it's only ever violent. And
sure.
this is such a good example of like, no, there was a lot of just like undermining Tina and Yvonne in ways
Mm-hmm.
that it's like I'm not saying that everyone who had like enacted a microaggression is a bad person, but it was just so easy to spot from a mile away of being like, oh, are you sure you can speak up? Because like you said, like, oh, what's the stereotype is that Asian women can't, or like when Tina was like, I think we should do like ginger and garlic. And everyone's like, that's not barbecue. And it's like, it is. It's not your barbecue, but it is barbecue. It's actually fucking
Right.
delicious barbecue. And she ended up being right, you know? And then the
Yeah.
like whole like Azu talking over her, which by the way, Azu wasn't saying anything. It was the most pointless fucking like
That
Azu was
yeah, that
like,
was
I
weird.
want to put the brakes on all this momentum right now. Just say like, I'm gonna be cooking and don't tell me what to do. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's move along. She's like, stop talking over me. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, let me
Jesus
talk. And it's like, you're gonna say the same
Christ.
thing again,
Yeah.
even though, yeah, that was rough. I think, yes, I totally it was validating in the sense of what when they did steamroll her, oh no ginger and garlic on your thing or whatever. Then later the judges came in, hey, you're not on this plate, like you're
Right.
captain. Let's put you on this plate. And then they did, and they added other things, and it kind of turned into like, oh, okay, actually this became a really good plate overall. It wasn't just
Yeah.
bland, and probably what put them over the top. So it's sort of like, it's just the classic argument for like, hey, if you let other people speak up who wouldn't ordinarily get listened to, you're
Right.
going to get
Right.
a better product if you're just all about the product and all about capitalism. But like,
Right, right, right.
I think ultimately, like, yeah, it is a good, I'm sure that was maybe part of the editing and the narrative of it, but it was very subtle. But I think yeah, kind of showing.
Well, I don't know. I think that you're right. I think that like the show tried to lean away from it. The show was not like, look at how these two
Sure,
minority
sure, it
women have
wasn't
been
too
wronged. But
hard.
like, I feel like to a certain subsection of the audience, like anyone who's had to do like basic office HR training on harassment is able to be like, hey, that's not an okay way to treat someone. Do you know what I mean? To just sort of like belittle them out of the gate.
Yeah, yeah, and
So I don't know.
like see how it can come bite you in the butt later.
Yeah.
It's your first instinct is sometimes not correct, and yeah, yeah. So I think that was yeah, it was tough to see, but I think like overall, it wasn't like a demoralizing episode where it's like, and then
Right, right, right.
she got eliminated because she
Right, right.
got
Again, it's like
steamrolled.
this is where like I have to come in and be like, I know that I am just hypersensitive to this, but yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, okay. I don't need to beat it to death.
No, no, same. Yeah, of course. It's like I'm going to see that and immediately like think of all the times I've ever been,
Right, exactly,
spoken over and
exactly.
all that stuff. And that's going to be very different from what other people watch and totally, you know, would love to hear all the different thoughts. But, I think, yeah, I think it's fair that we see it that way. And I think that was definitely what happened. I think with the Azu stuff too, that was like, it's also like we don't know what edit we're getting, but for sure that was like hard to watch where people are kind of fighting or talking
Yeah,
past each other. And particularly, she's not
like
allowing
not
them to
making a
even
point.
say, yeah,
Right.
not making a point, not allowing them to even say, I hear you. And then also, because they were like, yeah, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Wrap
then
it up.
like they're like, yeah, let's get started now, which is correct. And yeah, and her point was like, I want to be independent in my dish. So it's like before you're even beginning, you're saying, don't look at my dish, but like they need to
Right.
check
Yeah,
every
yeah.
dish. That's kind
It's a
of
team
captain's
challenge.
thing.
To start off a team
Yeah.
challenge by being like, I'm going to do my own thing is like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I don't know. That just seemed like a weird Azu thing, not necessarily, who knows? She might have said that to any captain, but at this time,
Maybe,
Tina's already
maybe
been beat
not. I
down.
don't know.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
again,
We don't know.
it's
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I don't want the conclusion to be like Azu is racist or like Jesse and Jessica are racist, but
Sure,
it is just
sure.
like those are like the little kinds of things that like you might not catch about
Yeah.
yourself just making these quick like biased decisions against people. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, so they start off strong, yelling at each other and steamrolling their captain, and it seems like blue team is like really, yeah. I mean, Joe even said like, well, we've never had that before, an argument before
Right.
they even start cooking. Okay,
It was like
that
as
was
the
yeah,
hosts were trying to do their own like standing like little talking head thing, like you could hear it off camera and they had to mid sentence be like, "Oh, hey, wait, hold on, let's pay attention to this fight happening over here," you know?
yeah, 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 pretty show stopping for sure. But yeah, so they did their little coin toss. They got red team got the ribeye by choice. They wanted to choose the ribeye. Blue team left with the pork chop with a lot of fat. They got to burn down.
Also a huge
Um,
fucking pork chop. I was like, that's gonna take forever to cook. It was so thick.
yeah, that's true. It was a big guy, and like, oh yeah, large portions over there in the for the
I
barbecue
we noticed that
aficionados.
yeah, both the steak and the pork were like, oh, I guess this Australian butcher was like, hey, MasterChef is in town. Let's just fucking let him have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, give them the whole herd. I feel like and there's also like 90 degrees and it's like lunch and it's like wow, you're just like
Right.
taking a steak to the face. Like I'm sure they didn't finish all of them, but it's
Yeah.
like quite a yeah, these are true aficionados.
Yeah.
So yeah, so also the weird thing too, as much as these were aficionados, they were not allowed to decide the team who won. The
Yeah.
judges were, which they announced right up top, like, hey, by the way, this is gonna be different. We're gonna decide. So it makes me wonder, like, if they had weird, they like didn't really trust the crowds in the past, and now they're like,
Oh,
it's turning out weird. Let's like, but
right.
then I mean, they could always rig it. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, it's hard when the judges are like, "We promise we're unbiased. We'll do it." And it's like, "Well, we're already cooking for 40 people. Let the 40 people." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What's the point of them? But yes, interesting. So we see them kind of brainstorming. Obviously, Jesse and Jessica shoot down Tina's initial ginger idea. Both teams are doing potato salad. So we
Boring.
get all
Yawn.
that. Blah blah blah. Oh, okay. This was funny. Javier and like one of the confessional, asides said, at this point, there is because they're running out of time. At this point, there is no room for opinion or for democracy. Just following orders.
Which I think he's right. That's like how a traditional like kitchen brigade works, right? Is like you're just a soldier. You're listening to whatever the head chef
Sure.
says.
It's just funny saying no more democracy, just following orders.
Yeah, dude, there isn't time for that
Kitchen
shit.
is just full fascist kitchen. No, but yes, it's very very militarized. Funny quote there. Tina did her "I'm the captain now," Captain Phillips
Adorable. I can't believe
reference.
that's not trademarked and they didn't have to like clear that. Or maybe they did.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like a meme, I guess now. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, it's part of
it's too
the
large
public
and
domain. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's been public domained into meme territory. Um, Great. So then, the judges go and test each of these dishes. For the blue team, Gordon says, add something fresh. The aficionados are expecting something more than grilled corn, apparently.
Yeah.
Pork was bland. No Tina and Yvonne on the plate. Of course, we talked about this. So they're getting that ginger and garlic glaze idea back. Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Screw you guys. Red team, their salsa looks more like succotash. So Joe suggests turning it into a panzanella, which was actually Zach and Michelle. So they also, yeah, they got steamrolled
Okay.
before, or at least changed
Here's
their
our
thing. Uh-huh.
our little conspiracy theory that we came up with in our household was that they were like, Zach and Michelle, you go do a succotash. And they're like, we're not comfortable with that. We think it should be a panzanella. And they're like, fuck you, go make a succotash. And then they turned out this thing that didn't really look like a succotash. Is there a universe wherein Zach and Michelle like sort of sabotage the succotash so that they would, people would be like, you know what this would be good as? A panzanella. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, good idea. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right. They basically made a panzanella without the bread or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Because for a succotash, I didn't see a lot of corn in there. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Am I frozen? Or are you frozen?
Oh, sorry, you're back. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
it's me. I think it was me.
Okay.
My internet is not the best. Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, okay. We're back. I'll come back in.
Okay.
Back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay, great. We'll pick up panzanella. Yeah, so they made like a whatever a breadless
Yeah, I was saying
panzanella.
exactly. They made the panzanella without any bread, and they're like, "Look, succotash." Everyone's like, "That's not succotash. This should be panzanella." And they're like,
Right,
"Wow, I
right.
guess you're
And they're
right."
like, you know what this reminds me of? Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe you should make it a panzanella. Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be smart. It was also Joel and Adam, or whoever that was, either Joel or Adam, kept calling it panzanea. But I think,
Panzanella.
yeah, yeah, but it's like Italian, so it's probably panzanella, right? But then could be
I've
panzanea
I've
in
never
some
heard it pronounced
circles.
panzanea. No, I'm going it's
Yeah,
panzanella, and they just never heard of it, and that's okay.
that's okay. That's why they shot it down. But now they're up into it. Julio apparently is the Brazilian grill man, but he was happy to take a back seat and do the potato salad instead. Team player, I
I
suppose.
thought that was
There's
a
also a
weird bit.
Brazilian. Uh huh.
I because
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
was like, really kind of like egging him on. He was like, Julio, don't you enjoy grilling? Don't you want to be up there? It was
Right.
like, and Julio kept giving the nice guy answer of like, no, I trust my teammates. They're in charge. And Joe kept being like, you're a little cuck on the grill, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Oh my god. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was definitely kind of egging him on. That was like the second drama that they were like, okay, we've had some drama with the other team. Let's try to do this
Right,
up, and then it didn't
right.
work. He didn't take the bait because he's just
He's a
a
good guy.
team player of a guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get these diners kind of coming in. The first one they speak to has a cowboy hat. There's a woman from Alabama.
Yeah, I was surprised with her that
If you
she
come from
liked
Alabama, you got to know barbecue.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real Alabama in Australia. And then yeah, okay, we kind of go back. There's a lot of hecticness in the kitchen. There's Tina going back and doing stuff instead of instructing her team.
Hmm.
There's an older man with sunglasses with a heavy Australian accent, as you mentioned.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so here's a couple. There, we're going to discuss the throwing. So Gordon was selective about throwing. He only
Okay.
threw. So one woman had a raw steak. It got sent back. Gordon didn't throw that one.
Okay.
So no points
No
lost
points.
there.
Right.
But then the raw pork chop that gets sent back, Gordon does throw it. And
Uh-huh.
Jesse is on the protein. So Jesse and Jessica lose a point there.
Okay. I think that is
And I
correct.
believe they're iffies. But the funny thing is they actually end up praising Jesse at the end for doing quite well on the
Yeah.
grill.
Yeah.
So you just, you get unlucky. I think they don't realize we're doing points and it's very important here in our fantasy league whose protein gets thrown, but they're just doing it for, narrative flourish, and
Right.
it sure works every
Apparently,
time.
they have their own show to do over there, unrelated to our fantasy
Yeah,
league.
crazy. Why would they ever? But yeah, so the thing that kind of hits the red team and maybe shows, why they lost is that the last steaks that get sent back, like it's like the last few steaks they sent out get sent back. They're like cold
Right.
and raw.
Yeah.
And that's the one that Rachel takes it pretty hard because she was supposed to, check
Last line of
those.
defense.
It
Yeah.
was kind of sad. Yeah, she really took it hard. She's clearly feels bad. Julia was sweet and like comforting her, which was like, oh,
Yeah.
nice. Like
It was a good
we
demonstration of
we
like, that's what a
lost
healthy marriage looks like.
definitely. And yeah, we kind of lost Timothy and Athena. They were a sweet couple
Hmm.
when they got eliminated. So it's kind of nice to still have another strong couple here.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, here's the big kicker. In the end, the judges choose the blue team for the winners.
I'm not surprised. You put a couple Asian people in charge. I mean, that's what you're gonna get.
See what happens. Let them do the ginger garlic.
That's what I'm saying.
Hello. It's
That's what I'm saying. They did.
delicious.
I will say that someone, I think Jesse, called them out on the fact that they did not make enough. He was like, I don't know why we decided on this ginger garlic thing and then
Oh,
only made
right,
like one
right.
tiny bowl of it.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
were
You
kind
need
of
to
caught up for
cover
a while
that
just making more, which
for
valid.
sure.
Yeah,
Sure. But hey, if they had started earlier, maybe they would have had a lot.
that's what it
Maybe you set
is.
them back
Yeah.
by doubting them. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing too. And similarly, what was it? I think somebody said gave some interview about like a lot of the issues with like female directors or something that female directors faced is like people asking them, "Are you sure?" Like
Oh,
when they make a decision,
wow.
and that takes so much time to be like, yeah,
Right.
that delays production or whatever. So I feel like that's another thing. It's like, well, just go with the ginger garlic. Then you would have had a lot of bowls. You would have had tons of glaze.
Interesting.
But luckily, blue team still pulls through despite their setbacks. Those CG blue streamers come out. They made sure to keep those in the mix.
They love a
Tina,
CG
yeah,
celebration.
they got to show those. They were so clearly like I feel like they didn't even try this time to like show where they would come from or like
It
you'll
was
get
just
it,
from the sides of the
Yeah, I was
screen,
just like, yeah, yeah. It's like it's from the frame of the screen, and then
It's the way that like a video game character can take out like a sword from behind their back. It was just there the whole time. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, like in their inventory,
Yeah.
Um, Tina and Yvonne, this is their third 3 for 3 in team challenges. Amazing.
Wow.
We picked some
Wow.
winners there.
I know how to pick them.
But yes, and then in the end, Gordon does compliment Jesse on how he handled the grill, even though he did throw his protein earlier. So some
Mm,
redemption, but
yeah.
still doesn't mean, I mean, that he still lost a point there. So sorry.
You don't get points
But
for
yeah,
praise in TV Chef
yeah.
Fantasy League.
Unfortunately, that's not built into our rubric. But anyway, so yeah, the red team we know is going to the pressure test, which is pretty crazy because those are some strong duos there.
Yes, it's we're getting to the point now where no matter what, someone good is going home, which is a
Pretty
bummer.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like because yeah, I mean like there aren't too many right now, but basically I feel like Azu and Javier are kind of like the weakest,
I would
and they
agree.
scooted by because they're in this good team and they did fine this week. And actually, I mean, they did great with the macarons, but even though they seemed like they were going to be disastrous,
Right.
but they have had some weak weeks. But yeah, these three, the ones going to the pressure test, Joel and Adam. Um, oh, now I'm forgetting. Oh yeah,
Azu
red
and
team.
Javier
Julio
and
and Rachel.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's Joel and Adam, Julio and Rachel, and Zach and Michelle.
Oh,
They're all
right.
strong. Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
strong. So it's pretty crazy. It's going to be a really intense pressure test. We can't wait to see it next week.
Yeah.
Speaking of next week, we want to see a 3-course meal. That's what they are going to do.
Okay. I don't know if you caught this, but it looks like the three-course meal is going to be some demonstrations to them because it looked like Joe's filled raviolo,
Oh,
like egg yolk
oh,
raviolo. It looked like Gordon's sticky toffee pudding, and I'm sure that
oh.
the main dish is going to be a Tiffany recipe.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that totally went over my head. I did not realize that. I just saw Gordon pushing his finger into a raviolo. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I
Ugh.
want a finger in a raviolo. And
Yeah, so we
then
might get some
yeah,
points
that makes
for
sense.
he's going so
He's going
fast
so
up
fast
there.
up there.
Right.
Yes. Nice. Yes. And then I did see in the preview Rachel crying again. Big tears. Like she has like
Big tears.
big juicy tears.
Okay, that's weird.
Um, good for TV.
Sure.
You don't want dry little skinny tears because then you can't see them. They're not
Yeah, you
good
want
for
plump,
TV.
juicy, juiceable
Yeah.
tears. Yeah.
It's like in I'm thinking Miyazaki, like Spirited Away, when
Oh,
she's like
sure.
crying and it's like going in her bow or whatever she's eating. This
Yeah.
looks pretty good. But yeah, so that's what I want to see in a tier. But we'll see. Yeah, who goes home? I mean, gosh, I only have one duo left. It's Zach and Michelle. They're in
Yeah,
the
how you
pressure
feeling about
test.
that?
Um, I mean, not great, right? You would love more people, would love
Yeah.
people who win, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they've been okay. I think they just got a little unlucky this week, and yeah, I could see them doing fine. But yeah, they might go home and then I might have zero. But what else
And then you got to
is?
start working on a recipe to cook for a professional chef at the end of
Oh,
the
oh
season.
my God, I really do. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Like every time I eat, just kidding. But I'm like, oh, this
Building
could be an
dread,
interesting
mounting
dish.
dread. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, truly, it's looming over me. But yeah, let's on that note, we can get into some points here.
Hmm.
So right away, rip the band-aid off. I got 0 points. No
Nice.
surprises there. Zach and Michelle
Perfect.
were not captains. They did not win. They did not do anything. So
Just
that's fine.
there, just around.
Just panzanelling.
Yeah.
But if he got 1 point.
Okay.
That's because he had Julia. Oh, sorry, he has Jesse and Jessica. But then because Gordon threw the protein, they got a -1 as well.
Right.
So then
Right.
they
Okay.
overall got 1 point. Yeah, I believe so. And then you, I
Here we
believe, got
go.
3 points.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Which means, drumroll please, I have 7 points.
Okay.
Mike and Iffy together, you both have
Right.
15 points in a tie.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Okay.
You caught up to him. So yeah, this is going to be quite upsetting once Iffy returns when he realizes that he is tied for first with you this time.
Okay. I can't wait to claim that title. I'm calling it now. I'm pointing at the stands with my little baseball bat, and it's going to be me at the end.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Very exciting. Everybody, you got to tune in next week for the pressure test, which I guess, let me look at this. So you have Joel and Adam. So that's going to be good for you. At least you'll get some points there. He has Julie.
Yeah.
We each have one in the pressure test. So that'll be kind of
Okay.
fun to see.
That's a nice even horse race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be good. But yeah, so everybody tune back in and we'll see who dukes it out for first while I hang behind by less than half of the points.
Yeah, there's no way for
Natural.
you to recover. You got to start planning a recipe now.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think my philosophy in this cooking for a chef or whatever is just it's not going to be good. I'm just going to say, I
You just
keep
got to own
expectations
it,
low.
accept it now. Yeah.
Yeah, keep expectations low, and then that way anything is a win.
Okay.
That's my philosophy in life.
That's healthy.
All right. Any final thoughts?
No, like on the one hand, I feel bad that we're
No.
turning in a short episode, and then I'm like, it's like midnight for it's after midnight for you, and I got fucking COVID, and if he isn't even here, let's just call
Oh,
it. Let's let everyone off the hook.
yeah.
We don't need to
I mean,
bullshit for another 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, and sometimes with these team challenges, it's like there's not much to talk about because they're really half an episode anyway, and they split it up.
Yeah.
Like in a real episode of TV, they would shove in the pressure test at the end, make it a
Yes.
real
Exactly.
elimination. But they
Exactly.
split it up, so why can't we
They're really
cut
fluffing
cut
their
us some
season.
slack?
Hit that
Yeah.
episode order.
Yeah. Cutting corners, going to Australia for the cheaper production value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on.
so all you pots and pans out there, take this extra 10, 15, 20 minutes. Go spend it with your family. Go learn a new recipe.
See your children.
Go outside.
Yeah. Just shake your neighbor's hand. That's supposed to be good for you, I think. Meeting people,
Unless they have
all
COVID,
right.
in which wear a mask. Hand
don't do that.
sanitize. Yeah.
Yeah. Wave from behind thick layers of glass. All right. Well, that'll do it. Thank you. If you like this podcast, share it with someone. But also, please go to MaximumFun.org/join, where you can support us for as little as $5 a month. That's all. It really helps us out and keeps us going. Thank you. Helps us in our late nights of recording. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop us a line on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League and follow us, or send us an email at chef@MaximumFun.org. If you're doing your own MasterChef Fantasy League with friends, please tag us and tell us how you're doing. For full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks again to my co-hosts, Mike Cabalon and Iffy Wadiwe, who will be back next week, hopefully.
Yep.
Thank you. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our engineer is Gabe Mara. Our theme song is Dylan Van Auken. Our artwork is by Sabrina Volante. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.